Hey guys, today you are in for a treat. This is a very special episode, something I've wanted to film for decades. I want to take y'all through a landscape from start to finish and what it's like to work with a Covington's Nursery designer. I'm here with two of my favorite people that I've known forever. You probably a little longer. This is my mother, Gayle Covington. And this is our very talented landscape designer, Steve Malone.
It's great to be here, Ron.
Okay. Well, tell me if you still feel that way in a second. I'm about to walk y'all through all of my wants and needs and dreams, and I think it's going to be your job to tell me which dreams can become a reality. So at Covington's, we often talk about creating outdoor rooms. Well, I want you to take that just a little step further. What are my favorite things about rooms? Doors and windows. So I have got a massive European door. It's rusty, it's old, and I was thinking that it could be the entrance to the courtyard.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. I look forward to working with that.
Oh!
We're going to have a door right here, one of your antique doors that you have coming off the driveway. So the flagstone pathway comes off the driveway right here, and then the door is at this location, and this will be the main primary entrance area into the garden or courtyard area itself.
Okay, so this is an amazing antique door that I told Steve I wanted to incorporate somehow into the landscape, and so now, here it is. It looks ridiculous, I know.
If you're noticing that there's a bit of urgency to all of this, it's because about a year ago, I foolishly agreed to be featured on Dallas's largest garden tour. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but honestly, I thought we'd be much further along by now, but here we are. The tour is weeks away, and forget the landscape, the house itself isn't even finished being built, so what a mess. Woo! Deep breaths, deep breaths. Up, moving on.
So for months now, I know the whole neighborhood has gotten a kick out of this door. It's just been a freestanding door in the middle of my yard. But now that the plants are starting to come in around it, I think everyone's going to understand, what the end game was all along. I don't know what to say about this other than just this was exactly what we set out to do. A door, a garden gate, just nestled in foliage, and over time, as this grows together.
It makes more sense now that the foliage is here, because when it was just standing.
For over a year, it has just been a door of nothing, with every person that comes by walking their dogs going, "What's that door? What does that door go to? Is that your front door?" Kind of.
It was just a beautiful entrance to this really unique garden area, and it just makes it stand out. It's very unique and different.
But we're gonna go in. Come on. Over here, Steve, I made a sketch for you, almost like a stained glass window that's supported by a structure, and I was hoping that simple structure could be almost entirely covered in, maybe not vines, like a climbing rose.
Roses would be beautiful. Okay. I love that idea. So here's the stained glass window that acts as a window. It's a backdrop to this seating area as well, right here. And I would also mention you also have another optional area for a water feature right here.
Like a standalone fountain, like a tiered fountain.
Exactly.
What is that behind the little seating area there?
So back here is a small planter wall at this point, and you'll have plants in here between the porch and then the terrace right here.
So I found a beautiful, huge piece of stained glass from an old church. I hung it up here. It was up for like all of a day. It was during Dallas's notorious windy season, and the whole thing shattered. It was just in fractions of pieces on the ground. But that church had a second window, it turns out. And I'm not keeping it from you because I want to do some big reveal. Maybe I am. I'm keeping it from you because I am not going to make the same mistake twice of hanging that thing up before it's time. I'll probably put it out the morning of the garden tour. So if y'all haven't picked up already, we're making a courtyard, a front courtyard. Those are so popular in almost all of the world except for America. In America, we like to put all our cool stuff in the backyard. I'm wanting a wonderful, magical place right up here in front, and I see that it's probably going to include a lot of pathways.
Okay.
A pathway coming through that door that we talked about, a practical pathway coming from the driveway, and also one of the neat things about Little Forest Hills, it's a very tight-knit community, and we've always had a path that connected our yards.
Yes.
The mailman walks that path every day, and so I would like to keep that open and not totally close us off from the neighbors.
I think that's a great idea, Ron.
Thanks.
And we're going to have a really cool, informal, meandering pathway coming from your parking area, which has the pea gravel here adjacent to the roadway. The walkway is going to meander up here, up to the arbor, and then you're going to pass and become to a flagstone area going up to your front entrance area.
So this is leftover tile from inside my house that, I asked Steve, like, do you think we could use this? He said, absolutely. And so now we're using it out here on the patio. It's been great watching all these hardscape elements come in, like the pathways. But once all the huge plant materials started arriving, like these climbing, blooming roses, that's when I started feeling like maybe we can pull off this garden tour after all. So Steve, there is going to be an arch out of stone forming right here. Okay. I have specifically not had them build any stairs because I want you to do that thing that you've done that I've seen on other landscape jobs where you use large stepped boulders coming in around the side. Yes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That'll make great steps going down. So going right here, you have the steps coming down and the door will be right here. Okay. And so what we did is we put together these really incredible slab steps that my stonemason is really great at assembling, and these big, thick slabs of stone. It just makes for a great transition from the porch all the way to the side gate. So it's really cool and awesome. And
Stephen wanted stone, all stone, and I said, okay, but I was really married to the idea of having these rusty old things, and so Steve said, well, we can do both. We can just attach them to the stones, these wrought iron railing. Do you like it? I love it.
That's what it was. Yeah, no, I do too.
And it looks incredible. Look at it. It's spectacular.
So I want to talk conceptually for a second. I know I have a lot of ideas. I've traveled a great number of places, and many of them, I know it sounds cliche, they've changed me. I came back from Nepal, changed, Morocco, I fell in love with. I have all of these elements from places all over the world that I want to incorporate into this one yard. I want a place where a Buddha statue looks at home next to a cathedral stained glass window, looks at home next to clay pottery from Mexico. But I want all these elements to live in harmony and not look like a hodgepodge mess.
Like an old lady lives there.
No, there's nothing wrong with old ladies.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't want it to look scatterbrained and crazy. I want them to all live in harmony.
So there needs to be kind of a binding element that ties everything together, Ron. And that's where I come into play, is to make all that come together so it all makes sense.
So Steve, one of the things I've always enjoyed about fairy tale style landscapes is the contrast between the wild and untamed plant materials and the more manicured and sculptured ones. And that's something I very much want to include in my yard, is that dichotomy.
I understand. So we're kind of combining their different styles, plant material, different things like that.
Exactly, like I don't know, a bunch of natural and untamed plants would give you a real foresty vibe, whereas like topiaries and very manicured plants, classical hedges, would give you a very formal vibe. But I was thinking, what if we mix the two?
I think the mixing of the two is great. Okay. That'd be wonderful and whimsical.
I think so too. So this weighs 5,000 pounds. I have footage of Steve directing its placement as it's being lifted into place here. But this is from Belgium. It's a single chiseled piece from Petit Architecturals here in Dallas in the Design District. And I hate that y'all are seeing it without it. It's beautiful. It's gonna have brass, but don't look away.
Y arriba yo, mi papá y la chona.
So I know this looks crazy, like I have a pot addiction, but actually, I just realized I made an unintentional pun there, like I'm a pot hoarder, let's say. But when they're all spread out in the yard, it's gonna look totally normal, I think. It just looks a little wild right now, all in one spot. So Steve, the whole reason that I designed this balcony was to have it just teeming, just overflowing with plants. I've gotten a lot of rusty planters, clay vases, and I've designed a ledge so that it's just going to be chopped full of plants spilling over, almost like a Gardens of Babylon kind of
wonderful.
I
love that.
And so up around the door there, I want ivy to be growing, and then there's also going to be ivy around the sides. So y'all have realized a very cottage look that we're going for.
Love the ivy, absolutely. That's beautiful. Yes.
That's nice.
So Steve, the area I'm in now is going to be a very small square patio made of antique pavers, and I have a fountain. It's a long trough fountain, maybe about 5 or 6 feet wide, about 5 feet tall. And I want it not to go up against a wall. It's a wall fountain, but I want the wall it's going up against to be plants.
A wall of greenery.
A wall of greenery, yeah.
So you don't want to look over, you want it to be a complete closed off room.
I want it to, we'll be able to see the backyard from the entire deck. So this can be its own little special area.
So this will be a courtyard effect.
Another courtyard, yes.
Another courtyard.
Y arriba yo, mi papá y la chona.
So, Mom, we did get this fountain working for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if we can recreate that here. It is super full, isn't it? Okay. So this is kind of like a monumental moment. I'm gonna get on my soapbox just very briefly here, but one of my pet peeves is I will hear people talk about how much they love our neighborhood, Little Forest Hills, how they love all the big shade trees, then they chop them all down to build their house. So it was very important to me to find a way to keep this like 100-year-old tree, and it goes back to what we're talking about, those outdoor rooms. This is gonna be an extension of the house, and we're just building this deck.
It's a tree house.
It is!
It is a tree house, Ron. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot today about creating outdoor rooms and about creating all of these outdoor living spaces with a seamless transition from inside to outside. I want to keep all of that in mind. I do also want to mention something. I've told a lot of people that I'm building a fairy tale cottage, and that is true, but I never said which fairy tales or even from which country. I'm just saying there's a lot more to what I'm wanting to achieve than just European fairy tales. I'm wanting to incorporate these elements from all over the world, and it goes back to a little bit of that darkness that I was talking about.
Is it going to be a troll?
Steve, is that possible?
A troll?
He said anything was possible, Mom, at Covington's Nursery, so get that troll in there.
Okay. We got a troll on order.
Okay. So I guess it'll be a small troll?
Absolutely. We can do that. A troll.
How about a big troll?
Not a big troll.
Okay,
Small
small troll. So
Yes.
there are some limitations. Let's see. So Steve, have you ever had a client come to you with a photo, an inspiration photo, and you look at it and you're like, hold on, that's New England or the Bahamas. You know, half of that stuff doesn't even grow in Texas.
Yes, I have.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I've gone one step further. I brought you something that's not even from reality. It's a illustration of some storybook that I found, but it does serve to illustrate some of what I'm wanting to do, which is I want the nature to be all over the house. I want the house to just be dripping with nature, not
Absolutely.
just in front
Yes.
of it. And so as you can see, like there's vines growing on this house, the window boxes are overspilling with flowers. And I see all of that happening with my yard and house, especially with the front balcony.
Absolutely. I think that's great, Ron. So with the vines and everything growing up on the chimney, on the brickwork, the stonework, I think that would be absolutely incredible. Other plant materials will be, around the house and everything. I'll bring it alive and you'll have that look exactly. It'll be wonderful.
So I've sequestered us here. There's very few places to stand in the yard right now because there's so many guys who are working. The garden tour is one day away and we're just gonna barely make it. That's
That's right.
yeah. It has been raining all week, all month, really, and so the guys have been unable to work. Steve, you had them here for the past couple days working in the rain.
We have, absolutely, but they're getting it done. So
Yeah.
it's looking great.
It is looking great. Would you agree that it has been very stressful, though?
It has been very stressful,
Hold on,
But-
turn to that.
but enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah, here's what I believe. The end product is going to be phenomenal. How we got there, who cares? No one's going to ever know, unless someone's filming it.
You know, as a photographer, I'm often choosing not to accept things the way they really are, and instead turning them into what I wish they could be. And I feel landscaping is no different. It's always been fascinating to me how residential landscapes can be so natural and yet so fake, so contrived all at once. The dichotomy is mesmerizing. And it's certainly the case with New Moroxico, because keep in mind that just like the interior, this outside world still needed to conform to my unique signature style. So there's certainly some intentional silliness here, both inside and outside the home. I'm trying to evoke a sense of historical fantasy, beautiful fiction of a past that never really was. But by always incorporating real antiquities into the design, I think it gives my fusion of disparate cultures a surreal credibility. Now, having said all that, when it came time to conceptualize my own landscape, even greater than the urge for experimentation or innovation was a desire to learn from the past. And here I'm talking about Covington Nursery's past. I wanted to consider all our prior successes and even our failures, maybe even especially our failures, and then incorporate only the best of the best into my own design. And, well, lucky for me, Covington's Nursery has quite the collection of greatest hits to pull from. And, well, actually, to be completely honest, I expect now my yard will be joining them. Because New Moroxico, it has exceeded all expectations.